Alrighty, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay in starting here. I had to put the stickers on the little pieces here for Lost Ruins of Arnak. But welcome to Bald and Board Games. I am Bald. Board is not here. So again, I'm doing a solo set of stuff. Usually it's the stuff that he doesn't particularly enjoy doing. So that is today unboxing and organizing the Lost Ruins of Arnak adventure chest. I am stoked for this. Let me go down to the table here and you can see all the goodies. This is one of my favorite things in a board game, is organizing the game. To me, it is so much fun just to get everything into their perfect spot. The sticker thing I was doing with the Lost Ruins of Arnak as well before starting the stream is I love putting stickers on pieces. I don't know why it's so much fun to me. It's probably the crafty side of me. I have no idea. But yeah, so we're going to dig into this, get everything organized. We do have each of the major expansions, of course, the base game that we'll be getting in here too. I did already go ahead and open up the base and 2 expansions and sleeve the cards. That way you wouldn't have to sit and watch me sleeve all of these cards because that's not really that fun. But you'll get kind of an unboxing of each of these as well because everything is still in the box. All the punchy punch boards are still there, meant to be punched too. So you'll see me go through and punch all of those items out. So I have to make sure that I was actually recording. We had one stream where we forgot to hit record. We hit stream but not record. It's great. So we'll go through unboxings of those slightly and yeah, dig in and just put this stuff away. Okay, so let me get my handy knife here. And let's dig in. Is there anything on the back here? Anything? So there are some extra stuff in here as well. Let me come out a little bit further so that you can see as I'm reading this. So, prepare for another adventure in the world of the Lost Ruins of Arnak. Pack all your essentials easily into one adventure chest. This one. That fits everything you need for journeying in the lush jungles and vast plains of Arnak. So Twisted Paths is the new expansion that's included in this. It's actually a double-sided board. It has the Spider Temple and the Owl Temple on there. It says, your expedition has discovered new lands. Will you follow the owl-masked prophet, on the path of wisdom, or challenge fate and uncover forbidden secrets under the spider's watchful gaze? Cool. And so this does come with a bunch of extra goodies here as well that will end up packing up. No new actual cards, I don't believe. So card dividers, rival objectives, rival action tiles, owl temple tiles, idol tiles, dark tablets, that's cool. Research bonus tiles, some lanterns, which I'll have some more stickers to put on, so you will get to watch me put stickers on pieces. Some assistant tiles, guardian tiles, and some of the level 1, level 2 site tiles. Okay, now we can dig in. Here we go. Let's pull out to the big screen while I get this cut open here. Cut in the box. Or myself. Fun fact, Bombastic occasionally uses that knife and doesn't necessarily know how to close it, and one of these times she's probably going to cut her thumb off. She's come very close to cutting herself. She makes me incredibly nervous with sharp objects. But I might just be overprotective. Alright. Trash. Okay. So before we open this, let's open the new big boards. Should leave that open. Let's be dangerous. Alrighty. And pop the edge there. Oops. So I did have the base game of Lost Ruins of Arnak when it came out initially, but during a bunch of moves I had to sell it. I didn't have anyone at the time, anybody to actually enjoy it with. You could play solo, which I did, but I need the money, so I got rid of it. So let's look at the board here. So this big guy, let me get this out of the way. Oof. Nice, massive board. is, there we are. I believe this is, yeah, this is the Spider Temple, I believe that's what it's called, right? Spider Temple. It is the Spider, oh, they're both temples, okay. The Spider Temple. I would say this is where you need those dark tablets. This is very much bigger than the original. Love the artwork so much. Oh my god. If we, Bald and Board and I, or Board and I, ever make a game that involves a map, like, inspiration is definitely coming from the artwork they do here for Lost Ruins of Arnak. Just the perspective of looking down, and then as you pan up, getting to that horizon, and it's like you're standing on this cliffside looking out is phenomenal. So let's look at the owl side here. The Owl Temple, much brighter. This is longer, and not as wide as the Spider Temple. No dark tablets, doesn't appear. The tokens are unique. It looked like they have like a puzzle quality to them that you'll be collecting and putting together. I have no idea. We shall see. Very cool. All right. Let's get in to the big box. Put you up there for now. Here we are. Move over a little bit. The adventure begins. Put the adventure chest over here off to the side. Try not to hit any buttons and stop the stream. Okay, cardboard. Holding everything in place. That's clear where all the boards are going to go at the end. So that's going to go down here. That's also going to go down here. Boop. Okay. So we have the bada. Nothing. Anything? Nope. All right. Another. Oh, and another. We have, the dark tablets and stuff in there. So we'll do the stickers first here in a moment. And then our items on the bottom here. Ooh, nice. The tray for those pieces at the top when you get to the top of the temple. And whatever this is. Oh, there we go. Protecting everything underneath. Thank you. That was nice. Including this, protect all that. I might just put this back on the bottom of this. Protect the bottom of the box? Yeah? No? No. We're not doing that. Get out of here. Okay, so explore Uncharted Island. So this is just promoting the other portion. Well, I don't know why they're promoting the base game of Arnak if you have to have it to begin with. But it's promoting all of it regarding Lost Ruins of Arnak and also other CGE games. So Galaxy Trucker, Kunahora, I guess. Letter Jam, Code Names, but the app, okay, nice. SETI, which we do have, and we will get to the table. I'm very excited to play SETI. I've heard a lot of good things about it. That middle central orbiting structure with the satellites and everything seems like a very unique mechanic. So excited to get to that. Little Alchemist, cute. All right, trash. Okay. Twisted Paths. This is the rulebook looks like for Twisted Paths and all the components that come within. Cool. So we get a little close for it. Here we are. Okay. New expansions. All right. So it looks like the instructions for where everything goes is going to be on the back of this box. So let me get this over here. Let's see. How's our view look right in front of me? Kinda. We'll probably stay zoomed out as we do this, just because there's so much. Okay, so this guy, these are the instructions for everything. So it's going by the picture here, temple tiles, setup components, player components, resources, player and campaign cards, site cards. All right, I guess we are just gonna wing it and we will see what happens. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna put this in front of me up here so I can see. We'll go. Okay. Where to start? My goodness, so much stuff. Let's start with these. Got our, these are coming for little black tablets here. Very cool. I did order the deluxe components for the gold and for the compasses, just because they have some really cool looking deluxe ones. It's not made by CGE. It's made by some private companies. You can find them on like Etsy and stuff, but they're great. I really enjoy having everything, if we're gonna have like these plastic components, everything to be similar. So put those aside, and now you get to watch me do some stickers real quick here. Don't worry, I enjoy this. It goes quick. Got our yellow lantern. One side. This is something that board is god awful at. It always comes out crooked, or like one part's hanging off the edge. I'm convinced just because he doesn't have steady hands or patience. But let him tell you that. You guys have seen plenty of times on stream when we're playing games and he just slaps components off the table if they're not essentially glued down by being into a groove in a double, what is it? A dual layered board of some kind. Like we just played Brink, and it has the little screen to help keep things a secret, and he kept hitting the screen every time he'd reach up. It was remarkable. Oh, pull the board. There we go. Let's get you down a little bit, buddy. There we go. Much better. Put you on there. My problem, we found out, other than Nick rolling, when we play anything, is when we have miniatures, and somehow I just bitch slap the miniatures constantly. I don't understand how. I'm just always hitting them. Go. And boom. All right. There we go. Quick and simple. So those are for cards, and these are going to be dividers that go with the cards. That is the player and campaign card tray. That is what those are. So let's do our components. I think that's going to be the easiest. So, so this is going to house, looks like, our, it's hard to see because of the darkness, but turn it, nope, not really. Okay, so we have our arrowheads, our regular tablets, it looks like. Is there a spot? Yes, it looks like the bottom tray is where the new stuff is going to be held, all the expansion stuff. That's where the dark tablets are going to go. It's going to be in here. And it looks like they do have them marked in the bottom for all that stuff. So regular tablets, so all your regular resources are going in here for when you play the main game. So let's get these off to the side for now. Boom. So we can put these away since we're here. So this big boy is where these dark tablets are going. Right in that little section right there. I do have a trash next to me. I'm not just throwing stuff on the floor. We have dogs. I would never dare do that. So then this I'll put off to the side. Let's punch out everything that came in here, because it looks like for the most part a lot of this stuff is going in that one tray. So we have dividers. Now that does not seem like a divider. That seems like some sort of therapy. Oh, it says 4-card dividers. That's a divider. All right. Got some new locations here. Awesome. More dividers. Must be for all of the various expedition leaders. Some fun monsters here. We have spider, praying mantis monster. Awesome. Got a Pokemon-looking bird monster. Champ, or Loch Ness monster. Champ from Vermont. So Champ is America's Loch Ness and Lake Champlain. So anytime any kind of plesiosaur-looking monster comes out, it's Champ to me. And Champ is real. Don't you tell me he's not. Alright, we got some more friends to assist us. Great. So we got here, trading up. 2 on the back side, just straight up. I really enjoy how they have the upgraded side shown on the front of this to help you decide which one you would want to get. That was a very smart design that they did from the very start. And then more idols. And empty. All right. Idols, pretty standard. Doesn't look like there's anything specifically new. Cool. Little idol monkeys, go up there. All right, round 2. Here we go. So looks like these are the solo tiles for this. Do you believe, what are these? Rival action tiles, yep. And then these we're punching out now are the rival objectives. These two guys, more rival action, more rival action tiles. Okay. Some more places here. Those are cool. Awesome. I love the concept art aesthetic. Nice. It's a level 2 spots. Go. Little square tokens for your research track. Boop. More of those. It does look like in the bottom corner of these, you can't see here, I can't get any closer unfortunately, there is a compass symbol to help you determine what expansion these are from, which they do with the other ones as well. And these are these new, as far as I know, new. I haven't seen, I don't think any of the expansions they have any of the same, but these, like puzzles, like fit into each other. See that? It's very cool. I assume a 10 won't go with a 10 like that. I assume you can mix and match. Like you could put the 10 and the 5 together to make one, but I have no idea whatsoever. They do fit really snug, which is worrisome that you're gonna end up like pulling off the bottom part of one of these, trying to fit them in together. So I'm not gonna continue trying to shove those in. We'll see. 5s, 10s. Oop. Boom. We recently did another large unboxing and reboxing video. We did Terrorscape. Board got everything that you could get with Terrorscape, and it came. Oh God, it was like 3, 4, 6, it was at least 6 or 7 boxes that was in this one massive box when it got delivered. What's awesome though is that one of the boxes it came with is essentially what the adventure chest is, where it gave instructions on how to consolidate everything down into the one box. And it wasn't just like things were put in willy-nilly, like there was thought put into where things are going. So you had all the pieces separated for the villain, and then the pieces for all the characters, we'll call them heroes or players, in a different section. And if you don't know what Terrorscape is, it's a one versus many sort of thing. So right up Board's alley, he will never play as one of the players. He will always demand to play as the villain. So he gets to just try and attack everyone. So he he enjoys that mental gymnastics sort of game where he gets to try and figure out what everyone is doing. Is there really not anything except for the back of this book to go over? Oh, I'm an idiot. There we go. I always miss this. Side of the box, it literally shows you how everything goes in the box. So you get a better view also of what's in the bottom. All right, so it looks like all of those pieces go there. So I can show you here. See that? So I'm looking at this right here to see this big bottom tray. So, nice. Little zoom ins. Okay. So to start, this will come out here for a minute. So right here is we're going to be putting all of these, it looks like. They all fit in there, just like so. Cool. All right. In they go. Okay. Now, let's see here. Anything else from this new set? Looks like all the rival tiles and such will end up going down there. Okay. So we've got you on there. Looks like we've got this blue and the gray one going here. So that's those two. Actually, I can probably do a center zoom for you. Yeah, there we go. So these two go in there. Now, we've got all the purple ones going right there. Okay. Looks like, so we don't have those. The monkey's not in there, right? Nope. Okay, nothing else from what we just punched is going into this tray. All right, cool. Just gonna put you, not blocking too much? No. Let's do that for you. Okay, so this tray right now, we're good on. So I'm gonna put the top on that so nothing spills out for a moment. Is it the top? Was this the top? This is the top. How the hell did you go? Oh, there we go. Because the spot is missing this piece here, which would go in there. We'll see in a minute. So I put that away over here. Okay. So for the monkey idols and everything, that one's going into the side tray. Yeah. This guy. Right there. So, looks like we have these, which we go on throughout. I believe our square tokens here. That's where all of these are going to go. Once we get the rest of them. And all of our monkey idols will end up in here in some way. Okay. That's it for everything there. Let's move that off to the side. So now let's see, where are our lovely little monsters going? You. So we've got twofold. What do we got here? So here we are. So they're going to have cards going in here as well as the monster stuff. So the cards we don't have out yet, so that's fine. All right. So we have our... Oh, no, monsters are not going in there, are they? They must be. Did I go the wrong one? I did. There's two trays that look very similar. Here is the other one. This is where the monsters are going. There's a little symbol here where you can see. You can't really see. There it is, right there, that guy. Which is the same shape as these. So monsters go right in there. In this one that I was looking at initially is where our 1 and 2 locations will go. What I have left are the card dividers from our other these obviously will go into this card divider tray in some way. So it looks like, see here, closer look at that. So the order looks like it is our artifacts and stuff in the back. That piece, those guys, and then the peeps. So that's how those are going to go in roughly. As we get cards, we'll end up putting those in. So I'll just keep that open. Okay. So that was every. Oh no, we have these, our little lanterns, which look like they're going to just go with our people tray. Yeah. Looks like it just goes straight up with our peeps. They don't separate them at all? Okay, cool. Makes sense. Alrighty. We got our red, our yellow, blue, and our green. Boom, 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 boom. Right there. Cool. Alright, so that's everything from the adventure box packed away. So let's dig into the big one first, the main game. So we're going to jump into Arnak here. Get everything out of there. Alright. We also have some promo cards too, which I'll mix in with the base game. So let me show you these promos. Don't mind the box. I went through, like I said, and sleeved everything, and in moving the box, the cards shifted and stuff. So there is no insert for this, which is why I wanted to go in and sleeve those right away so they wouldn't get messed up at all. But let me come over here and I'll show you the promo cards that I snagged as well. So first up here, no, they did not come sleeved. I sleeved them and put them back in. We have the saxophone. So use the effect on the silver side of up to 3 of your, I forget what they're called, companions or something, on the supply board. Costs 4 gold to buy. Cool. Worth 2 victory points at the end. So we got the sax. Next, we have the rat. So return a placed meeple from a campsite to your board. Cost 1 and 1. Nice. Next, we have the Soothsayer Runes. So the Soothsayer's Runes, choose an opponent's deck. Pick any card from the deck and copy its effect. Then place their card on top of their deck. That's pretty cool. Also note these first 2 here are, they have 2 different versions of travel that you can use it for. Soothsayer is just the plain. This one costs 3 compasses. Compi? No, not compi. Compass sexes. And lastly here, the other promo is the Alicorn. So 1 gold to complete a monster. I forget what they're called again. Beast, Guardian, I think. Guardian, is that right? Then turn the yep, it says Guardian literally right there. Typical Baldwin board style, trying to figure out what something means. If we just keep reading, it'll tell us. So then turn the Guardian face down without using its boon. Interesting. So it allows you to get around the Guardian without collecting the Guardian. Looks like it just gets turned face down in that location. Very interesting. Might need some clarification on that one at some point. All right. So we'll separate these cards as we take them out of the main box. So we have boom, 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 boom. So let's start with the cards then. let's get these cards out and organized because they have been flopped all over the place. Hurts my heart. My biggest pet peeve with any game that's made is if it doesn't have any kind of insert whatsoever. I don't understand how you make a game now and you don't have an insert. Like, I understand it costs more to make it, to get an insert made, but at least like something to keep the cards from sliding around, to keep things from getting damaged. Like you said, games are expensive. They're expensive to buy, they're expensive to make, so why would you not want to make sure that there's no way it could get damaged? Like, you don't have to include sleeves for the cards. Like, make sure the cards are good quality. Like, these cards here that come with the Lost Ruins of Arnak, they're not specifically a good quality. They're not a linen finish. They're a thicker card, which is nice, but in shuffling, those corners are going to get dinged, and it's going to come up very easy due to the type of card that it is, which is why I got sleeves for it, because I plan on keeping this game for a long time. I want to keep it in pristine condition. These are all things that we comment on when we do our review videos on games. We review videos over 5 different categories. I do all 5 myself, Board does all 5 himself, and then we get the average of each of those 5 categories to get the final Bald and Board game score for those categories. Then we take the average of all those scores to get the final Bald and Board game's official rating, and it's on a scale of 0 to 5. So not having an insert whatsoever in the box would score probably, like, it wouldn't be a 0 because there's a box. You know, the box would be terrible, things would be falling out, but it probably would be a literal 1 for the main game for this scoring for that. But then, of course, you have the other areas that can pick it up. There's only one game that's gotten a perfect score, like Bald and Board game perfect score, and to get that, you have to get 5 out of 5 stars in every single category. The 5 categories are storage, rulebook, the components, so what things are made out of, like I was just commenting on the quality of the cards, the design, which is phenomenal here, like the artwork, the iconography, all that those visual elements, and then, of course, finally, the gameplay. And there's one game that got 5 out of 5 in every single category for both myself and Board, and it's a Vital Lacerda game. So if you haven't watched our video already, we do have a ranking and reviews of all those. But if you want to guess before you watch, leave a comment down below on what you think that Vital Lacerda game was that got a perfect score. It is incredible. All right, so let's get these cards sorted out here. So we have our artifacts. Boom. Our starting cards. We'll sort those out in a moment between the characters. We have our terror, artifact, terror, artifact, or fear, my bad, not terror. Same thing, different word. Boom. Stop moving. Go, items. Board got to play this for the first time when we went to Gen Con recently. It was our first time going to Gen Con. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot to look at, a lot to do. God, if I had an endless amount of money, I don't know if I would have been able to make it back. I would have probably had to ship things back because there would have been so much that I would have wanted to buy. I kept bringing things up to Board. I was like, hey, you would love this. Hey, you would love that. Obviously, I would too, but it's something that he would appreciate more, so I'd essentially get him to buy it. Right. Almost there. But yeah, Gen Con was a blast. We had a lot of fun. Hi. What's going on?
I want to see if you need anything to drink.
Nope, I'm good. Get my coffee. Thank you. I did come back and I got sick, and I did get Bombastic sick, who was just at the door checking in. She was not very happy whatsoever. But yeah, so Board got to play this for the first time there, and I was like, oh, you got to sit down and play this. You will absolutely love this. The deck building aspect, the comboing to try and do as much as possible was phenomenal. We played it a second time in the library kind of free play area after that, and Those are already sorted. Cool. And I managed to win, but only because I took my good old sweet time, like trying to figure out those final combos to do it. I think I won by like 1 or 2 points. It was pretty cool. All right, we have our tablets, our people, our rubies, and our arrowheads. Bags we won't need. I will hold on to those though, because those will be needed for a different game at some point. We have our reference cards here. Very handy, very concise. We have, which every game should have, a pad of paper to score. If you're not keeping track of your points during the game on a score track around the board, you should have this. So a popular game that's new that just came out, which we just played on stream, was 12 Rivers. 12 Rivers is magnificent. It's so much fun. There's 2 issues with it though. It does not come with something like this to score your points at the end of the game. And it doesn't have a round track. But beyond that, it is so much fun. The comboing aspect, the pearls collecting, and trying to sabotage someone by taking their pearl, and this, it's a lot of fun. So, glad that Arnak has that. Nice big rule book, the size of like a big travel guide. From what I remember, this rule book is phenomenal. Again, very concise. Nothing is left unsaid. There's no confusion or vagueness in here. And it's just gorgeous. God, this game is so pretty. Cool, rule book, that's the side. We got punchy stuff, which I'll do in a moment here. Let me move these up out of the way for now. We'll put the rule book and the scoring stuff off to the side over here. And the reference guide. So that way it's out of the way, because that'll be one of the last things that gets put away. So we got a bunch more punch stuff. Boom, camps. Bunch of our temples and stuff we're trying to get to. Discover. Some guardians. The board that goes at the bottom of the main board. It has a section for all your resources and everything to sit in, which now I assume you'll actually have spots to put. You're putting things on this now from the organizer. Double-sided also. Nice. More punchies. These tokens here, these are the things I have the deluxe ones coming in for, the gold and the compasses, so I'll obviously keep those for now. More of our guardians. And then the board I'm not going to open up right now. You guys have seen the board already plenty of times, I'm sure, for this. If not, then definitely tune in for when we do play this on stream. We definitely will get this on stream. I'm going to put this over here with the other board. Okay, so let's get these cards taken care of first, and then I'll punch these out, and we will get this stuff put away. So let's move the main box that we don't need anymore, I believe. We'll put this off to the side. Right down there. Okay, so let's get these back over. Right here. Okay, let's see. What do we got here for our cards? So player and campaign cards. So I think the player cards go in the front. Seems. Okay, so looks like the player cards, so the starting cards for the players here, will all go right there in front. Okay. All these other things must be from other areas, because these all go into another tray, I do believe. So, put the cards tray off to the side here. That is wrong. That is right. And let's see here. So, got this one here, which gets the cards. So let me bring it to the center where there's a little bit more light. Okay, so here we have our artifact cards. Boom. Yep. Okay. And the other one, here, here's where the fear. So some stuff is going to go under here. Interesting. Ah, the staff, and what else? What are you? Ah, little fear tokens. So the staffs will go right here, and the fear tokens are going underneath. So for now, I'll put the fear cards on there, because that is where they're going to be. And then the item cards go right over here. And then in the back side of those, actually, it doesn't look like anything goes in the back side over here. Maybe it's just there just to balance out this, huh? Cool. Okay. And let's get the resources here put away. While we're at it, why not? Yeah. Right there. So we'll do our people in a moment. So we have our tablets to go right there. And then we have our arrowheads and our rubies. So let's get this dumped out here. We'll sort them out. These are some of my favorite components in any game. They are so gorgeous. Man, specifically the arrowheads, looking like they're carved out of this blue stone. It's so cool. So arrowheads are going there. Our rubies are going in the middle. And when we punch them out, we'll have gold and compasses going up there. So move this to there. Where are our people? Tray for the peeps. There we are. Okay. Green, blue, blue, green, yellow, yellow, red, red, and the people. 'Cause up there, I don't think people go up there. It shows people up there, but I think that's for expansion, I believe. Yeah, the small people. Go. All right. All the players, away. Marvelous. Okay. Who's got these guys here? Just leave those in the middle. Why not? How does it look? No, good. Okay. Let's get punchy. So back in front of me. And punch some stuff out of here. Starting with, I believe, some rival tiles. They're called rival objectives. Actions. Actions. They're called actions. How high can we go? We can go right there. Do that. Oh. Oh. And our little waves to cover up spaces not being used. So this is for playing a game with a lower player count. You end up putting those onto some spaces. We have one of two staffs. There are actually two staffs if you have an expansion. So first one, the base game is this little staff there. Moon staff, is that what it's called? I don't know. Put you right there. First one gone. Oh, that is player board. Not punch anything out of that. We'll put this up here with the other boards. Here we go. And we got some of the Guardians. So base game Guardians, some of them. All very cool. Rewards you get. Or no, what you need to beat them, I believe, is what's on the bottom. I think. I forget. It's been a minute. And our little square tokens for research. Typically, this is something that I would ask Bombastic to do, because she loves punching things out. But I wanted to do it on stream with you so you could see everything being punched out and where it is going. in case you needed that assistance. Also, I do enjoy it too. Like I said, one of my favorite things about getting new games is punching everything out, organizing it. God, I love just getting new organizers for games that don't have ones already. Like I have two coming in. I have one for the Witcher Adventure game, so not the old world, but I recently re-got the Witcher Adventure game, which I've been looking for a while. I finally committed to it. Snagged that, so I have an organizer coming for that. Got sleeves for that as well. I'm going to hold on to that forever. I had that game a long time ago when I was actually newer to the hobby, and I don't think I quite understood exactly how to play because it seemed like it didn't really make sense, and it wasn't until in the last couple of years I got the digital version and was playing it on the tablet, and I was like, oh man, this is so much fun. I love this so much. And I was like, man, I wish I could find the original again. And it's definitely out of print. They definitely don't make it anymore. So there's people who are, this one's a little stuck, who are selling it, but a lot of them are selling for like a ridiculous amount, like over $200. And I found someone who was selling it for, I think like half that. And I was like, yo, absolutely. Let's go. These ones are not cut very well. Yeah. Sorry, I have to do a little work here. The knife, because they did not get the back sides of these. The actual tile's not tearing, it's the thing that it's in. But of course, the nerves, there we go, are always there that the back side is going to tear. Which is why, at least for myself, whenever I punch, I always push to wherever the rounded side is, I always push down on that side. So that way the flat side is being pushed up, because I don't ever want to, I did it one time when I was younger where I pushed down the flat side and it wasn't severed right like the other one was, and it tore part of the backside off. It was very disheartening. So never again. Go. So yeah, so the Witcher Adventure game is a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, if you get a chance, definitely do so. Very simple, really, compared to a lot of games these days, especially like Old World, where you have your character, they have their own abilities that are very specific to their type of character, who they are. Geralt makes potions that can help him. So you only have 4 characters to choose from. It's very interesting. When it came out, the first game, I assume, must have been, like, first video game must have been really popular, because you don't have a choice of, you know, Yennefer or Ciri to play as. You have Dandelion, makes sense. Geralt, obviously, The Witcher. Then you have, I think it's Yarpen, who is a, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining. What is it? Blue-eyed demon. Is the last thing supposed to mean something? The 0N01. I was talking about The Witcher Old World. I was punching out the components here from the base game of Lost Ruins of Arnak, and how I recently rediscovered it and purchased it and have an organizer coming for it, and just like gonna keep that pristine. Blue-eyed demon name and 01 for 2001. There you go. All right. Why that name, can I ask? Where did Blue-eyed Demon come from? And is there a significance behind 2001? So, like, I will tell you, I had a PlayStation name, so been a console gamer for most of my life. I also PC game now too a little bit. But so the name for my PlayStation Network was supposed to be, you know, like Pisces, followed up by, I think, like birthday or something like that. But I spelled Pisces wrong, and it's not a word. It's just how I thought Pisces was spelled when I was very young and very dumb. Oof. I can't wait to get the deluxe components for these. But yes, The Witcher Old World. Stoked to have that again. Stoked to get the organizer for that. Found someone on Etsy. I think it was Tinkering Paws. They did another one, I think, actually, that I have for Marvel Zombies, the Zombie side game, which consolidated like 6 boxes down to 3. which is phenomenal. And then I have another one coming for Sea of Legends as well, where I'm going to be consolidating 3 boxes down to 2, because I absolutely love Sea of Legends. It's so fun. What do we got? Name came from a poor translation in Sword Art Online. Nice. Goat Boss in Season 1 in 2001 year is when I was born. Nice. All right. I assume, it might have been the year you're born. I assumed that. Sword Art Online, man. I have not... Oh, man. I love anime. There is a huge realm of anime that I have not dipped into at all. There's actually... Sword Art Online reminds me of Phantasy Star. The video game that my buddy David grew up and he loved playing. There's another game that I was looking at recently. I recently got a Retroid handheld. And I don't know if I ended up putting this on it or not because the files are so big. But Dot Hack was a manga that I read a bit when I was younger that I loved. And I don't know if they returned it into an anime or not, but they had a couple video games that are probably okay, but probably fun if you enjoy the franchise. So you're a big Sword Art Online fan, Blue Eyed Demon? I grew up like most my age. I was born in the 90s, so those born close to the 90s in the 90s, of course, grew up on like Dragon Ball Z, that sort of stuff. So love Dragon Ball, Naruto, obviously, the very well-known anime there. One Piece is one that I haven't actually jumped into because it's just so long. Only finished season 1. Nice. You just skipped everything in the middle? Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is amazing. Studio Ghibli is phenomenal. That is legitimately moving artwork. The Boy and the Heron was beautiful as well. The story was okay. I don't think it was as good as some of his older ones. Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away are my 2 favorite Studio Ghibli films by far. But Howl's Moving Castle is phenomenal. We actually have in our living room print from Howl's Moving Castle from when he was walking up the hill towards the old lady version of, I forget her name, but very, very sweet. Oh, man. So, Blue Eyes Demon, have you played The Lost Ruins of Arnak? Did you get the adventure chest by chance at all? So we recently snagged it. I had it a long time ago, and then I saw when they were releasing the adventure chest, reserved my copy, and I was like, all right, we're going back in, we're getting it again. We have dedicated gaming groups now where I'll be able to actually, play it with them, which was a problem before, and which is why I got rid of it, because I wasn't able to really do that with anyone at the time when I had it previously. So excited to have it back again. Of course, went all in, as I do. All right, more of these tiles here at the top. Go. Oof. Lost Ruins of Arnak is my second game in my collection. Started last year in December, though. I couldn't get Adventure Chest because yeah, it definitely was. So I have a fun budget for myself, food budget, and so essentially learned to budget out all my finances to live my rich life. So I got a book back in the day called "I'll Teach You to Be Rich," and it doesn't teach you how to be rich as in with like money, like millionaire, billionaire. It teaches you how to live a rich lifestyle. And what it does is you have to figure out what's important to you. So that way you can enjoy life and be responsible, obviously. So if your rich life is having absolutely no debt whatsoever, then yeah, just focus on paying your bills, saving, yada, yada. If your rich lifestyle is having the most money as possible, then you figure out how to do that. But if your rich lifestyle is, the hobby you enjoy, want to be able to enjoy your hobby or go out with friends or whatever it is, then you need to find the balance and find a way to make that happen. So that's where I decided, okay, I give myself a budget per month, which is a fun budget, which goes towards this kind of stuff, whether it's backing a new game or getting a new one, whatever it is, and whatever I don't use carries over, which allows me to get the larger ticket price items like all of this. So, very happy that I did. But second game in the collection. What was your first game in your collection? What was mine? I don't know. You know, honestly, I think, and it's one I recently got again, I think the first legitimate game in my collection, I'll tell you which one I wanted it to be when I was younger, but the actual first one when I was younger, which I got again recently, was Marvel's Legendary, the deck building game. That one got me into it hardcore. I bought every expansion that came out as it came out every year. It was ridiculous. I can guess because most people hate it. Oh man, what is it? Pandemic? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hate for Pandemic now for some reason. I don't know why. Can you give me a hint as to what type of game it is? I don't know if I'd say that I hate any games. There's some that I don't particularly enjoy as much. But it's usually because they weren't very well... Oh, is it... Cosmos most sold game. I think it was Cosmos. Cosmos. Okay, what did Cosmos make that people hate? Oh my man. It's not My City, right? I feel like people like My City. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. You have to give me a freebie on this one. Oh, Catan. Oh, no way people hate Catan. People, I mean, maybe some people do. Man, you're in the wrong area. People saying they hate Catan. I have a special edition up on the shelf that I got a while back. That was made. It's entirely wooden. So everything was handmade. The cards were handmade by someone as well, which we haven't gotten to the board yet. But no, yes, Board and I have been talking about getting Catan on stream for a minute. We want to make sure we get a bunch of friends to join us, though, when we do it. Catan's a great first game. Absolutely. That is one that I think gets a lot of people into the hobby. Okay, that's everything. That is all the punch out. So let's go back to the middle of the board here. Do you still have Catan? I hope you do. Go say Catan. Wow. Say Catan is blah blah compared to real board games. Well, let me tell you this. Every board game, including Monopoly, is a real board game. So nobody should be calling anything a fake or real, not real board game. Because they're all real board games. Some just aren't for some people. Like, there's a lot of people who despise and don't like Monopoly, right? Despite Monopoly's older style mechanics, the roll and move and stuff happens, and the heavy amount of randomness and the lack of, depth in strategy, it's still a board game. It's still a game you have in front of you with friends and, you enjoy. Of course I have Catan. My friend only want to play that. Nice. That's fine. You gotta find a game that's similar to Catan to start to move them away. So we recently played, I don't know if you're on stream or not, I forget, but we did Farms Race. And so there's a playthrough on our YouTube channel and a review as well. But Farms Race is Catan, where you have your hexes and you get your resources, but you are playing as mutated animals trying to control the most areas. You're trying to get essentially the most notoriety or renown by the end of the game before anyone else does, but you're fighting each other at the same time. So it's a nice next step after Catan where it's not overly complicated, but it adds another layer of strategic depth. And that could start moving them towards some other options. Are there any games that you would want to play with your group that they haven't jumped into yet? Okay, you can't see. Good. Or anything generally that you're looking forward to playing that you wish you had or you're looking at getting? Board and I have a list of things coming in as we do. We get a lot of games for two reasons, right? Obviously for, you know, this here, the stream and everything, and our YouTube channel, and to play with you guys. But also because we're working on making our own games. It's actually how we met and how we got started, was talking about making our own board games. But we figured because we are playing games so often, we might as well stream them and get them out there. So we also are essentially studying as we're playing games and stuff too. Hegemony, SETI, Dune Imperium, Apiary, I mean, at the moment, which I got, I never played it. Did you get all of those or just Apiary recently? Apiary is one by Stonemeyer that I'm really interested in as well. Very unique. Hegemony is great. If you haven't played it, definitely you need a group of people who are willing to sit down and learn. People say it's a hard teach. I don't think it's really that hard of a teach because you don't have to teach the whole game. Everyone has to just learn their own character, or own faction of sorts, and that's really it. So it's a pretty easy teach. Like we managed to teach and get. Sorry, I'm trying to show you guys here. If I read on the bottom one, is where these tiles are going. There we go. We managed to get two people who are not avid board gamers to learn how to play, and one of them actually won. So it depends on, I think, really which faction they're playing. So I think the state's a little more complicated than some of the other ones. Oh, you got all of them. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, board-backed World Order as well, which looks awesome. I'm glad that he did it. And I didn't have to spend the money. But that looks really cool. Yeah, we have the expansions for it too. I think that's another one I got a nice divider for and everything to make sure that stuff stayed nice and pristine. Go. So we got all of our solo stuff up in here. What's the other one there? SETI we have on the shelf we haven't gotten to yet. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, that's definitely one I'm excited to dive into. And then, of course, watching the expansions to see when that comes out, too. So I don't know when we're going to get to SETI, but stoked for it. And it looks like you guys went to potentially commercial break or not. I know I have the stream down on my side as well. But yeah, any game is easy to learn as long as you're willing to take the time to learn. The biggest thing I think with learning a game is if someone's not committed or doesn't have the patience to sit and just listen to how to play a game, or gets frustrated, they try to figure out the game instead of just listening to it. That's where it gets in the way of people's learning. All right, so we just put, I said, the solo tokens here. Up here, I put those fear tokens, and we're going to put the first staff down, and we'll put these fear cards back on top. It looks like, if we come back down to this one, is that where they're going? Yep, looks like it. So right in here is where we're going to have the wave tokens to mark stuff off. And we have, with our characters, it looks like. Oh, yep. So ultimately where that's going to go, we have more of our idols. And then we'll bring this guy over. Whoop! Get back in there. Boop. And we'll put in these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 and 4. I like this tray. They take this out and put this on the board. That's gonna be great. When I started hobby, my first was Catan, then Arnak, and then straight to Hegemony. Most people quit for that jump. Yeah, that's quite a jump there, for sure. But I mean, when you're in, right? I guess that's just how it goes. Like, you're enjoying it. It spoke to you. Again, I don't think hegemony is particularly hard. There's only one game I think that we've played that has been hard to grasp. Now, there's definitely games we've played incorrectly just because of the amount of rules. So we've definitely have played Andromeda's Edge wrong like a few times. We've only played it, I think, really 2 or 3 times. We're stoked to get that back on stream. But the main one that we played wrong the first time through, because it was very difficult to learn and there was so much going on, was I always mess the name. I'm going to say it wrong again. Other Side of the Hill, which is a World War II game. And so you are playing on you are playing as the German Nazi generals, but they did it tactfully to where they don't reference the Jewish people or what's happening, those atrocities or anything. They kept it very, very tactful to where you're just trying to be the best general, and they have Black Orchestra included in there and stuff. And it's a huge board. It's on our YouTube as well. I think there's like 3 videos that split up, and we did a marathon. So we started in the morning and we went, I think, for 10 hours straight. We ended up losing, and I blame Board for it because he initiated some stuff that made us fail. But we completely forgot to do one entire portion of the game with like the Western front, with like Americas and stuff. So that was difficult. Andromeda's Edge is great. It was a little bit easier for us to learn how to play for the most part because we played Dwellings of Eldervale first. And Andromeda's Edge is essentially Dwellings, but very much improved. It looks like those are going to go right on top afterwards. Nice, we'll put those there for now. It's Dwellings, but it's very, very much improved. Let me pull out here and we'll get the next box. A lot of things that made Dwellings great, they kept. Some things that they need to adjust, they fixed. But yeah, it does take a couple playthroughs to sit down and play it. So I think definitely keep trying. I have not played solo, so I don't know how that would go. But I mean, set up 2 characters yourself and sit down to the setup and then just play turn by turn and you'll get it. Essentially all it is placing your ships out in different locations to get resources and perform actions. And then when you pull your ships back, you get like resources or whatever else that comes back with the ships. And then you occasionally have to fight the enemies that are there. But yeah. Is there a specific part of it that is confusing to you? We'll go to the Missing Expedition next. Woohoo! Alright, same thing. I sleeved all these cards ahead of time. We got our meeples here, so I'm going to get these out. We'll organize those cards. Again, biggest pet peeve, boxes that have no storage. Expansions I give a break because if you have room in the main box to put the expansion, then I don't mind the expansion things not having storage because when you're taking them out anyway. But, yeah. Alright. Oh, so those are going to be separated into chapters, so I need to reorganize those cards. Of course. Of course. More baggies we'll put off to the side. Boom. Alright. Read this first. The deck is ready for the campaign content. Content can be revealed chapter by chapter as you play through the 6 chapters, so but it's okay, just mix new cards with the old decks and start playing standard game. Details are in the rulebook on page 2. And the other rulebook on page 2. And so this is the whole, so this is the campaign. I actually didn't know that. So the Missing Expedition is a full-on campaign. That's fun. Alright, that's meant to go on our list of campaign games for Saturdays to play then. Missing Expedition rulebook. I'll look at that in a second. We should get those cards in the right order. I have no idea what this is, but that's cool. And let me come over. Here you go. Yeah, this was alright. I have no idea what that is, but cool. And we have some more reference cards. Put that off to the side with the other ones. Yeah, that's what I said. I said it could be played normally too. Oof. I like the added depth to including the potential to have it be a campaign. So like if I wanted to play this solo instead of just playing the game like straight up solo, by myself, being able to play a solo campaign is always fun. I'm a big fan of campaign games. So Saturdays, we just finished our the first campaign of Ice of Guard, which is with the two first guards. There's 5 total campaigns in that one initial box. And the next expansion coming out, Veilward, soon as well, that we'll have coming. But that's so far my favorite campaign game. I do have the Tainted Grails as well, which I do enjoy the Dark Souls difficulty to it. If you want to watch some funny stuff on YouTube, we have some videos of Board and I playing that, and we bicker like an old married couple. It is hilarious. Okay, let's see here. Board. That's what this is here. Okay, let's get that over here, the other boards. And punch outs. A bunch more punch outs, okay? Cool. Let's get these cards organized to start, and then I'll deal with the punch outs there. So let's see. Page 2 just goes over those. Does it have a section on resetting the campaign cards? I would assume it would in some way. It doesn't say on there. Leaders, campaign components, sites. It's probably in the actual campaign book, I assume. Player setup. I was thinking to get the campaign game, but can't figure out which one to get. Was thinking about ISS Vanguard and Sleeping Gods. Yeah, ISS Vanguard looked really cool. That's one that I've contemplated a couple times. We have, Lands of Evershade that'll be coming. So Awakened Realms next one, which they said they kind of took what they learned from Tainted Grail, from ISS Vanguard, all the other ones, and improved upon everything for that one. So, so what kind of campaign game would you be interested in? Like, is there one specifically or a type of campaign that, like, theme that piques your interest? So, does it say achievement awards? Ah, it does. Okay, of course you do. Guys, to watch me reorganize this whole campaign deck. Because all the cards got mixed up. All right. Something story-driven and something hard to win or progress. So you want something hard. So you want two. You want one that leans more into the story, and then one that is just more difficult. Is that what you're saying? That's 4. No idea. Yep. Or both if possible. That would be perfect combo for me. So if you're looking for one that is heavily story-driven and hard, like Tainted Grail is that. So I assume ISS Vanguard is very similar as well. One that leans definitely more towards story, that's not as difficult but feels like a video game as a board game, is definitely ISS Vanguard for sure. The Seventh Citadel is an interesting one. That's difficult. Well, we have Dragon Eclipse we're gonna be jumping into if you're a Pokemon fan in any kind of way. That we're pretty stoked for. It seems like Tidal Blades we haven't played yet. I don't know how difficult it is, but Tidal Blades 2, Rise of the Unfolders is on our list too, potentially to do next. That is heavily story-driven with a foreteller app. So far, the game that's had the best storytelling via the foreteller app was definitely Isofarian Guard. They have like specific music that they made for each section, voice actors. So it's not just somebody who's doing the voice over like reading an audiobook. It's so ridiculous. It's so good. Okay. So now, assume it's not telling us in here the order. Solo for 2 players. Okay, so those are gonna go together. That makes sense. Great. Encounter deck. Achievements. So these are encounter decks. Got it. So there's a chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So encounter decks. Great. I assume those end up getting shuffled, so I'm not gonna worry about that. So we just need the achievement awards for each chapter. Okay, this will be simple. It looks like a lot of people, like if you look at like Facebook Marketplace or anything, are looking to offload their ISS Vanguard. So you could probably find one for a good couple hundred off from buying it brand new. And it's not one that's a legacy of any kind. So there shouldn't be any issues with like components being reused or being reset. Like that was my biggest pet peeve about like the reason why I never got Gloomhaven back in the day was I didn't want I didn't want like to put the stickers on to do any of that sort of stuff. I don't want like a legacy game that's in that sort of way. Alright, so let me see if I can find this. Provides weapons. So what are we looking for? Repair the plane. So we do that. So those are the achievements. So then achievement rewards. How do you know which section the rewards are for? Interesting. So I'm trying to figure out how you know like which chapter the achievement awards for. Owl Idol. Ah, okay, there we go. Soda Pop. Found it. Figuring it out. Repaired plane. There we go. Okay. That makes sense. So 3 achievements. Boom, boom. Encounter deck. That is number 1. Right there. Let's do number 2. So there's 2 cards, the 2 gold cards, because one's for 1 player, one's for 2 player. Okay. So then we're going to need the encounter deck, which are all 2s, go on bottom. The awards are radio, transceiver, saddle, and map of the temple. Of course, cards are upside down, because why not? There's saddle, radio. Oh, where's the map? Map. Map to the temple. Nice. Go. Boom. All right. It is number 2. Number 3. Go. And we need 3. Boom. Okay, we need improvised weapons, wicker cart, and spectacles. Improvised weapons. Give me the last ones, really. Spectacles, wicker, improvised. Pretty much. Okay. There. It's number 3. 4. Go. And hello, Dicey Vim. How are you? Thank you for jumping in. Am I winning? Winning at putting this away? Yes. Yeah, I'll say I'm winning, kind of. We had a setback to where I didn't realize that the missing expedition was a campaign or can be played as a campaign. So I went and sleeved all the cards and put it back in the box. I was like, okay, we'll take them all out when we do the reboxing. And so right now I am resetting the campaign decks so that way it's ready to go next time we go to play. So I need the Dingy, Guardian's Blessing, Mantle of Dusk. How are you? How's everything? Mantle of Dusk, the Guardian's Blessing, and the Dingy. Let's go to the back. Dingy, Guardian's Blessing. Nailed it. I was talking to a minute ago with the Blue-Eyed Demon there about campaign games. They're looking to get one. They're looking for either one that is primarily story driven and one that's hard, or one that is hard that is primarily story driven. So they were talking about potentially looking into ISS Vanguard. Sorry, what was the other one? Or Sleeping Gods. Do you have any recommendations where you could recommend for something that is story driven and or hard? Doing some chores, nice. Yep. Yeah, I tried to crank those out this morning before stream. I had to come in and reset the views a little bit because Board's not here today. It's just myself, and that took a hot second. But God, we have our washer and stuff in our apartment, right? It's nice, but the dryer kicks the hot air into the apartment and like it doesn't go out. And it's been like 100 degrees here in LA, so I am just been putting off doing laundry for like as much as I can until I absolutely have to, just because it gets so hot. I haven't played the campaign part of this either, so I don't know what this is like either. There, yeah, the Blue Demon I think is looking to get a campaign game. So I don't think they're currently playing one at the moment, but I could be wrong. Sadly, not playing a lot of campaign games as much as I'd like to play. Oh, you gotta jump in. They're so fun. If you like story, like I like campaign games for the story. So like. Board and I just finished campaign 1 of Isofarian Guard, which was phenomenal. It really felt like a board game as a video game as a board game, which was spectacular. There's gonna be a lot more cards left over. I just realized from this. Oh, that's just gonna go at the bottom. Cool. And we're looking to jump into either Dragon Eclipse or Tidal Blades next. Just kind of keep that going on our typical Saturday streams. Yeah. You just gotta dive in. Well, what was my first campaign game? I don't. Oh man, what was it? It might have honestly. Was it Tainted Grail? I might have had Pathfinder first, but Tainted Grail might have been. So like I did what you did with Hegemony Blue-Eyed Demons. I jumped right into the deep end when it came to a campaign style game. It's not hard, but I've always enjoyed. Hazard. It's a tile placement game that's solo or duo. I enjoy trying to thread through the story elements through the color paths, but not sure if it would count. Hey, if you enjoy it, that's what counts, right? Why not? The campaign games are getting very unique. Like there was the one that came out a while ago. I think it was by Lucky Duck, where it was like you had to like scratch off squares. It was like a word-based, story-driven game. It's just very, very unique. I don't remember what it's called. I apologize. But that was one that we almost snagged just because it was so unique, but ultimately didn't due to the legacy quality to the game. I think we've tried out one legacy game, which we ended up not being a fan of, which was, how was it? Not Sea of Legends. I like that. Seafall. So luckily, the game itself was cheap. It was only like $20, but it started off a lot of fun, and we were playing with like a full setting of people, and then it got very repetitive, unfortunately, and it was difficult to discover things. So it didn't last long. Ultimately, our gaming group just decided to tear open the secret envelopes and cases to see what was in there, and then just enjoyed it that way in the end. But there's a couple legacy-style campaign games that have piqued my interest, like the Jurassic Park one, Isle Nublar. Like, that one is definitely of interest to me. Okay, there we go. That is all back together. These ones go on the bottom. These ones go on the top. My goodness gracious. Now, how do they go into this thing? I assume everything I just did is going to get tweaked a bit. Lovely. Let me see here. I'll pull out so you can see everything else that's going on there. Boop. While I look at the back of this box. Player and campaign cards. Interesting. Yup, that sure enough looks like it. That's hilarious. So it looks like I just did all that for nothing. Because they're actually going to have us separate. I mean, I could keep it all together if I want to, obviously. Which I may. But it's easy enough to go ahead and do that later. I'm going to get this organized because that's what this is mainly about here. So let's take off. So first up, we'll come back in here. We have all like the captains and stuff, right? So that's all these cards here that have little icons at the top. Are they called captains? Player cards? Captain cards? What do they call them back here? Leaders. My lord. So leader cards go right there. There's going to be more, it seems like, as well. Get up here. Looks like next we're going to have the encounter cards in here for each section. So now I get to go through and deconstruct this thing. Oh, goodness. That is incredible. What we're going to do, though, is keep this in order. That way, when going to play later, it'll be that much easier to put together. So, 1, 2, 3, the 3. What do we got here? I could get Dragon Eclipse, but it seems like it's not that hard to beat, to be honest. Sorted everything to get unsorted again. Yeah, exactly. Haven't played it yet, but I have Slay the Spire board game. Yeah, Slay the Spire we have too. We haven't jumped into that either. We're pretty stoked. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Nintendo? Thank you for joining. Oh, that's probably, that's a bot. Sorry, guys. So I'm not actually on our main login right now. That is bored, so I won't be able to remove that bot. So I apologize. Board is currently traveling, so that bot is just chilling right now. I'll make sure that board goes through and bans the bot when he can. So for now, be nice to the bot. They're going to take over soon. Yeah, we have Dragon Eclipse. It looks like a lot of fun. Honestly, that's not one that I was concerned with the difficulty on. It really tugged at that nostalgia of like Pokemon and stuff growing up. So very excited to jump into that for that whole deal. See you in a little bit, Blue Eyes. Dicey Vim, what have you been playing lately? Anything of note? Anything new? Go. And you. There. And then you go into the back. Just going to shift all of this forward a little bit. There we are. All right. We're back in business now. Okay. So I assume there's going to be more of these leaders going in here because there's more pictures of them. So I assume the expedition leaders are going to be going in here with the other expedition leaders. That makes sense, huh? Okay. So for now, our cards are there. That took much longer than I thought that was going to take. Let's get all these rule books over to the side with the rest. Okay. The fun stuff. Punchies. My Shelfie, the dice game. Interesting. I feel like I've heard of My Shelfie. I definitely haven't played it. So what's it like? It's a dice game, you said. It's funny, I love dice games, but I suck at dice games because dice hate me. Board will tell you all about it. And our Nick Rolling name, I forget if we told you that when we saw you at Gen Con. But yeah, Nick Rolling is something that is very unique to me and our friend group. I roll terribly. Terribly means rolling high when you have to roll low or rolling low when you have to roll high. There's rarely an in-between. These little pieces here. Boop, 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 and boop. Let's see. I'm trying to think about what games are close to coming in that we've backed either recently or a long time ago that we're excited for. I think so. Ivy Studio is always a promising set of games, obviously. Brink was a lot of fun. We did a playthrough and we did a review on that. I think their next one that's coming, Tend, is probably one that I am the most excited for at the moment. Just because of how unique it is and the fact that I think Bombastic will enjoy it. Bombastic and I recently just played A Place for All My Books, which is a great cozy game. Could call it Yahtzee. Mixed with bingo, you collect points by rolling the same dice faces and collecting points. You can mess with opponents by finishing rows or columns first, which blocks them on other boards. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a game that we would absolutely love, mainly because we could sabotage each other, which is kind of what we try to do in every game. That's awesome. Come here. Come here. Go. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm trying to see. We're going to be doing a dice game month, right? So I think, so this month we're finishing off our Gen Con theme. So we've been playing games that are specifically games from Gen Con that we got at Gen Con. So that's why we did Brink, even though it was at Gen Con, but we got it beforehand, before we left. Our tournament game is Pillars of Fate, which again, we picked up at Gen Con. We did Galileo Galilei last week. This past week we did 12 Rivers as well. And our last one's going to be Luthier, which was kind of like probably the biggest one that we picked up at Gen Con. Hey, Meeple Mike, what's cracking? Thanks for coming in. Welcome, welcome. I am punching stuff out and organizing the adventure chest from Lost Ruins of Arnak. There is a lot of stuff. This is kind of also an unboxing for everything Lost Ruins of Arnak, because I have been just going through each individual box and, like you see now, punching all the stuff out and looking at it, messing it up. You just missed me going through one of the expansions that I didn't know was a campaign. So then I reorganized the cards because it's a campaign. But then to put them into the adventure chest, I had to unorganize the cards. It was ridiculous. Oh, man. But thanks for hopping in, man. I hope that the rest of your Gen Con was awesome. We had a blast. It was, I forget if we told you, Dicey Vim, I think we told you, but it was our first one that we went to. So there definitely is going to be many, many more, for sure. Everyone was so nice. That's probably my favorite part about Gen Con. We did a video with our reactions to Gen Con and talking about it and our thoughts and everything. My favorite thing was just how nice and welcoming everybody was to the space, and everyone wanted to chit chat. It was great. All right, so this is definitely a player piece. I'm not going to get rid of that. I don't believe is though. Must have gotten bored. I wonder if they're bald. Oh man, gotta move laundry. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Dicey Vim. You really ever played the base game of Lost Ruins of Arnak? Yeah, that's great. I'll come out, zoom out here. So there is a lot going on here. If we come into the middle section here, so just been slowly going through and organizing all the bits and parts. So we got the base here. So the Missing Expedition, which just adds a bunch of cards. It adds like a campaign element to it. That's what I'm punching out currently right now. And then after that, I'll be doing go through the expedition leaders, which I believe was the first expansion that they did. So this adds leaders, more cards. I think like a whole like camp mechanic to it. But it's been a lot of fun. I really love organizing games. It's one of my favorite things to do, which why I'm doing it now, because Board is currently away. He has a wedding this weekend that he's at. So I'm like, I'm going to take this advantage to go in. We'll just do a little live stream of me organizing stuff and chit chat with the board game peeps. So thanks for popping in. Yeah, con was great. I mean, it was, oh man, especially being the first one that we went to. It was so cool just running into everyone. And I can't wait to go back to run into, you know, all of you again if you end up going, because I imagine if you've been to a bunch of them or a couple of them, it kind of feels like a family reunion after a while with everyone getting back together. Yeah, I bet you do, man. Oh man, it was a puzzle that we were not expecting to figure out how to get everything back home, because we didn't ship stuff. Board brought an extra suitcase, and I had my few items, so we managed to get it all back. I think there was one of his games that the box got slightly dinged. Nothing substantial, thankfully. I definitely made sure that the ones I didn't want to get dinged at all, I packed into my suitcase and like padded up with clothes and everything like that. Because I am, we'll call it OCD about making sure that as I organize things on this table over here. All right, so let's come back over here. I'm just about finished punching all this stuff out. We're going to put together this little dial here. Have you jumped into any of the games that you got at Gen Con, Meeple Mike? Or did you have a highlight? I guess I haven't really been able to ask anyone else other than Board what their highlight was for Gen Con. So Dicey, I know you're lurking. When you have a chance, let us know what your highlight of Gen Con was, other than, of course, meeting everybody and stuff. What was ours? I forget, like, what game. Oh, so I have so the story. I'll tell you guys the story of how we got 12 Rivers. That was our highlight, which we've mentioned on a bunch of other videos, but it's just so much fun to talk about. So with 12 Rivers, it was an unexpected popular game for us. We didn't know what it was. We've never actually heard of it before we went. We tried out the demo. We're like, oh, this is great. This is a lot of fun. It's simple, to the point, and there's clearly it's open for a lot of strategic depth. And we played it recently on stream, so that'll be up on YouTube at some point shortly as well. But we're like, okay, yeah, we played that. Definitely, let's grab one. Looked over and it said sold out. And which is the cop-out answer is always meeting friends, especially coming from Canada. yeah, that is the cop-out answer. That's fine. It's if that was your highlight, that's your highlight. But so we played 12 Rivers. We wanted to buy one. It was sold out. We were like, okay, we'll have more on shelf tomorrow. So like, okay, cool. So the next day, and I think this was the third, either the last day or the third to last day, or the second to last day. And so we get there, we're at the door with everyone else in that huge crowd ready to go in, and we go right to the booth. And by the time we get there, there's already a line of well over 100 people around the Good Games Publishing booth. We're like, holy crap. We're like, how many copies do you have? Like, we only have 100. It's like, all right, that's not going to happen. Well, every day for lunch/dinner, we were going to the District Tap, which is just down the road from the convention center. And then around the corner from that, we happened to walk past one day, due to where we parked, the Good Game Publishing shop that they actually had there. They had a board game shop out there, a store. Exactly. Yep. You got it. And so when they were sold out, I was like, wait, let's call the store, see if they have any more, because we noticed they had one in the window the other day. They had one copy left, so we were like, can you reserve it? Like, put it on hold. We're coming right now. So they put it behind the counter. We booked it over to the shop and snagged it. So that was definitely one of the highlights of our weekend, was being able to get that all put together. But it was really cool. Yeah. You had a media meeting there? Cool. Yeah, they were super nice. We didn't even realize it was their shop until I think one of the prior days. We just happened to, like, if we didn't go honestly to the bar, their district tap, then we would have never known about that. So it was a good bunch of serendipity there that kind of came together. Let me make sure I'm putting this together right here. Pretty sure I am. Yep. Okay. But what part of Canada are you from, Meeple Mike? You're from up Vancouver, Toronto? If you're comfortable saying. I'm asking because I'm from Vermont originally. And I tend to get along with, I call them my fellow Canadians because, I mean, Quebec is right there. Vermonters are essentially French Canadian. Toronto, all right, nice. Very cool. We have, I think we have one other, Kim, Kim, who joins us on stream often. She is from, I think, either Toronto or Vancouver. I forget where, but she's wonderful. I'm sure you're enjoying watching the show of everything going on below, down here, all the crazy. My goodness. So is there anything that you are looking forward to diving into from your haul at Gen Con? Was there a favorite game that you purchased that you either jumped into right away or you are looking forward to when you have time? Okay, everything's punched out. We just put this little dial together here. It's always fun. I think my love of punching things out and putting these together, like stickers on stuff and things like this, is from being younger and growing up putting together model cars. I always loved putting together model cars. That, and then when I got a little bit older, I was like, I don't really like cars. So I was like, why am I putting together the model cars? We're going to do this. Yeah, there we go. And I started doing Gundam. Like, I was putting together some Gundam models and stuff. Favorite game from Gen Con is a game called Here Lies. Ooh, from DBC Games. They just sent me a bunch of their other stuff, and I went, nice. I don't think I've actually heard of Here Lies, but what kind of game is Here Lies? So here we get the obvious ones up here first that we know. So we got our singles, boom, a double, a Munsters. No idea what anything else. Oh, idols. I know where those are going right here. Here we go. Okay. So we got these little guys. See that? Kind of. Are going right in here. Boom. As well as those tokens. I think the circular guy's going there too. No? No, they're not. Oh, they're going over there. Okay. Makes sense. They have like slight markings at the bottom of these trays, which if I looked at would be really helpful. Go. All right, here lies. It's like a murder mystery / deduction party type game. Super hard and weird to describe, and it sounds crazy on paper, but you can start playing it and it just works. No, I love that. I forget if we told you at Gen Con, but Board and I are actually in the process, deep in the process of making our first game. We have a couple that we're working on, but it's also in that similar vein. It is not quite a murder mystery, but it is that social deduction style game. The difference is, like, we have a clue aspect to it where you're actually not like Clue the game, but like you're collecting clues to help you deduce who the person could be. So we'll end up having more information on that. I've been posting little like hints and teases on some of the artwork I've been doing for it on our Instagram and stuff. So we love a good social deduction murder mystery style game. One of our favorites that we haven't gotten on stream yet is Mantis Falls, which is a great 2-player social deduction game. Where'd that monkey go? Was there a monkey in here? There's a monkey in here. Tell us to put the monkey over there. Interesting. Cool. What? Where are you going? Right here. Okay. Yeah, it's been fun. That's actually how Board and I met and got started with everything that we're doing. Is we were playing games together to begin with, right? We had like a little gaming group. We were actually doing, I think we were doing Imperial Assault at the time, and I was looking for a new avenue for my artwork. I'm an illustrator by trade, and I moved out here to get into the animation industry. I was doing storyboard work, or trying to get into doing storyboard work, and I was burnt out trying to build portfolio pieces and submit them and stuff, and just wasn't working out. So they were here. What can I do with my art that I used to love doing? And just, board games. Loved trying to make them and everything. So I was talking to Board about an idea, and we don't have that piece yet. So that is everything except for those 2 boards, which will go somewhere at some point. Oh, they're right on the side. Okay. And so I was talking to him about it. He said, "Oh, we're trying, spitballing ideas and stuff for this thing," and we jumped into designing a game to begin with, which got a little scope creep, got a little out of hand. It actually became essentially 2 different games, really. So we put that one on pause. And so there's a unique set matching game in that initial one that we'll come back around to, that involves some very light RPG mechanics, mainly upgrading skills to unlock dice that will help you with the set matching, yada yada. The other part of it is a life simulation sort of game. So not quite the Sims game that just got released and stuff, which that one we'll pick up to study to make sure we don't do any duplicity there. But so that was fun. There's some other like sports ones we're trying to get going and everything. But this one was inspired by Board. He played a Scream game that he did not like, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I feel like that's something that we could figure out how to do, and it'd be relatively cheap to learn the process of making a game, because primarily cards, where we can make mistakes and it won't cost us too much. So that has been a journey. It definitely makes you appreciate all of this stuff way more, and the thought that goes into making games, because it is incredibly difficult to get things to work out properly, and it's also really difficult to get people to test with often. So it's been a lot of fun. So right now we're in a phase where I'm reworking the artwork. I'm the creative behind everything we're doing. Steve is the math guy behind everything. So when we have an idea, he maths it out, make sure that the probability works and everything like that. So it's been a lot of fun. We're definitely have to check out Here Lies, though. That sounds like a lot of fun. And if you love it, then it's got to be good. All right, jumping into Expedition Leaders. And this is our last one that we have to go through before we throw it all back into the big box. All right, so cards. I am going to sort by type to start. But that is it. Oh, did I do that wrong over there? Were those supposed... I may have done that wrong. I'm stupid. We'll figure that out. I will go back and finagle the cards in this main thing in a minute. Because were those... Oh yeah, because it's for the campaign. So it's the ones... Are you only supposed to be the rewards? I don't know. I'm going to leave those in there. I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to say that those are what they are because they're part of that other one. My thought is that the extra ones in the bottom, plot line rewards... Oh yeah, because they're supposed to be the plot line rewards. Okay. Yeah, let those chill. Those are separate. Don't mind my tangent. Hey, Blue Eye, welcome back. We are jumping into the Expedition Leaders. I think right when you left, Meeple Mike jumped in. Meeple Mike is great. He's got an Instagram, the whole nine. You should definitely check him out. friend that we met at Gen Con. We were talking about his favorite game from Gen Con that he has right now, which is Here Lies. Have you heard of Here Lies? It's a social deduction, like murder mystery sort of thing. No, yeah, I went through and sleeved everything ahead of time. It did not come sleeved by any means. I did not want to put you guys through watching me sleeve everything. So because the Lost Ruins of Arnak and the expansions have been out for a minute, I didn't want to worry about this being specifically like an unboxing for all of these, to where you got to see everything fresh and, you know, me opening the cards, since that's been done over and over again. You're still getting to see as I punch stuff out and whatnot, but yeah, I went through and sleeved off stream, so you didn't have to worry about it. Could you imagine though? Could you imagine if these came sleeved in nice matte sleeves? Like, that would be ridiculous. That's going above and beyond. I'll take it. Like, man, when you get games, like you back them or anything, and you get the sleeves, if they came sleeved, that would be a blessing. All right, we got little meeple guy. Don't know where he's going yet. And we got all of our punch outs. So let's do the same thing. With the cards put away, we'll figure out where this meeple goes, and then we will punch everything out. That's okay if you're quite new. You hear about a lot and very fast. I hadn't heard about it either, Blue Eyes. So he was telling us about it. Is your game group Blue Eye Demon fan of social deduction games? Have you guys tried that out yet? Slay the Spire didn't. It came with sleeves, but it didn't come sleeved for me. I don't have the collector's edition, but like it came with them for me to put them into, with instructions on how to, like, on how to sleeve them. All right, where's this gray meeple? Go in this. There you are, way over in the corner. All right. For those of you who have not been here the whole time, so I keep looking at the box because on the side of the box are the instructions here. Originally, I was looking at the back, trying to figure it out from there, which is helpful, but not as much so. So here it has like the zoom is in, where it's telling you like where everything is going, and also how to put it back in the box. So our little gray guy here, actually it's down here. It's going right in there. Boom, boom. All right. And then we have these to sort out. Yeah, thank you, Meeple Mike. Yeah, Blue Eye Demon, you will find, as I found, which is really nice, that fans of the hobby are very nice. I was going to say, other than the person who told you Catan wasn't a real board game, which I heavily disagree with. I think Catan is a fantastic board game. Everyone's super nice. So like Board and I, when we went to Gen Con, I forget if you were here when I was talking about this a moment ago, Blue Eye Demon, but it was our first time, and that was one of our favorite things, was just realizing and seeing how fun everyone was having, and how everyone was literally there just to have the best time, enjoying their hobby, like no judgment whatsoever. People were cosplayed to the nine. It was so cool. Everyone was willing to talk to each other. You know, people, you know, like Meeple Mike, who have a good following, you know, Bonds, anyone you ran into, everyone was very willing to chit chat, and nobody had a, what do you call, any kind of like pretentious attitude to them. All right, so these I think definitely need to pop out. You probably primarily the things that get one, I assume. So there's 6. Yep. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So go to that campaign thing again here, to make sure everything fits in here. It looks like in the back of this tray primarily goes the cards that you would win, it seems like, to get everything to fit. Because, I mean, also it's partly the sleeves. So try to get everything to fit in here with the sleeves. Be a very tight fit. It might work. No, not going to shove those in there. So we're going to scoot this back one. Scoot you back. And you. All of you. So you can go back and we can get all these in here. More of these leaders. Boom. Go. And this back section will be reserved for specifically the awards that you would get from those areas, the campaign. Get you right in there, because these last ones they say are just plot line rewards, and that's all they are. Just plot line rewards. So, yeah. Honestly, you probably get them all to fit if like the dividers weren't there, or even if like these starting cards weren't there, which I might move those to make room for everything else, but I think I'm fine just mixing those in. Because I don't even know what the plot line rewards are. Plotline rewards. Like, when do you even... We know how to play the game, we don't need that. Achievements, campaign goal, win, hidden text. So there's some hidden text in the back. Okay, so those are endgame rewards there. So yes, let's take out the starting cards. And we'll do that to make some room for everything else. So then we can get those forward. And now we can probably get these in the back here. There we go. So everything fits there without the starting expedition cards, which we can just, there's plenty of room in these other trays up here where we can put these where it's not going to be any kind of a problem, so I don't mind doing that. Keeping the campaign organized is a little bit more important to me, and even with that, I may reorganize the specific order of these. Yeah, cool. Keep it there. Top here. Let's get these. Put them right there. Works for me. I'd rather have them sleeved than not sleeved, just to make them fit. All right, so here we got another board. Looks like. No idea what this is for. That guy's cool. Oh, I mean, this is probably one of the expedition leaders, right? There's a bunch of these, I assume. Yeah. Don't mind me. Yeah, we're just happy to talk about games with people who want to listen instead of bothering their family and friends. Yeah, exactly. Bombastic. So for those of you who haven't watched our channel when we do like a playthrough, everyone who we have on, all of our guests, just as like a fun thing, we have them all go by a B name, right? So my name is Nick. It's not actually Bald. Steve's is Steve, and he goes by Board. It just kind of fit for us. We're like, oh, when we have people on, let's have them think of a B name that they think describes themselves. So we've had Bombastic, which is my girlfriend Jen. So because she's loud, and she gave up the name herself. I didn't give it to her. Leaders is the hardest to play. Oh, that leader, specifically that guy. Nice. Well, noted. That'll be the one that either Board or I try to jump into. So we had Bombastic. We have a Badass, which is another friend. We have a Ballsy, which is another friend. Someone's gone by Benevolent. We have a friend with glasses who called himself Blind. We have another friend who's gone by Belligerent. We haven't had a Bashful yet. Who else do we have? Our friend Bella went by Belladonna. That was fun. Oh, you see from a few gameplays that you've seen, it looks like it's the hardest. Nice. Like a good challenge. It seems like you're partial to a good challenge there, Blue Eyed Demon. Meeple Mike, are you an avid, or have you played a couple like campaign games? Do you have any favorite? So story driven, specifically, not tabletop, so not like D&D, but something more akin to like Tainted Grail, Dragon Eclipse, Vampire the Masquerade, stuff of that sort, where you don't need a dedicated GM. Yeah, you like to suffer. Yeah, yeah. You and Board alike for sure. Board enjoys the suffering. Go, boom. Come on. Oh, you know what you could. Yeah, I used to go crazy. So, Blue Eyed Demon is looking to get at some point a campaign game or two, and they specifically are looking for something that is, heavily story driven, of course, but as they just said, they like something that's difficult. So he was eyeballing ISS Vanguard or Sleeping Gods. So I haven't played either, but ISS Vanguard piqued my interest as well for a minute. So I told him, like, difficulty-wise, I think Tainted Grail's been the hardest campaign game I've played when it comes to difficulty. Currently doing Kinfire Chronicles, and it's slowed down a bit. Right now, Earthborn Rangers is my number one. Earthborn Rangers? I have not heard of that. Yeah, Kinfire Chronicles is one that I was looking at, too. What's is like a point in the story that's slowed down for you? Or is it starting to become repetitive? Go. Oop. So he's got some more little helpers there. Down here we're gonna have. Looks like in here we get these. No, getting the crew back together. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is hard when you're trying to have like a dedicated gaming group to get the games off the ground and keep playing. That's why typically it's Board and I that, like, if there's a campaign game we want to play and we'll do on stream, like, it'll just be us two, because it's very hard to get the rest of our friends together, especially out here in LA. It's like we have Vampire the Masquerade chapters down there, which we have a section of videos up on YouTube right now that we've done, and so trying to get the other two guys together at the same time again to be able to do that has been very difficult. So we think we're going to opt for substituting one of our other friends in, because they have a mechanic where you can easily get someone in, and they just have to take essentially all the experience and get themselves back up to snuff with everybody else. So we're probably going to do that in a couple weeks or so. But we're looking at jumping into either Tidal Blades 2, Rise of the Unfolders, or Dragon Eclipse. One of those two. So we just did the longer, heavier, Isofarian Guard Campaign 1. We went through that and just finished that first campaign. So we're going to take a break from something that's that intense and do something that's a little bit more lighthearted. But yeah, if you have any recommendations for Blue-Eyed Demon, he's looking for a campaign game that's story-driven and hard to jump into, or hard to play. It's also tough because as a content creator, I'd like to get lots of games played, and I don't have dedicated groups for different types of games. Yeah, it's hard to dedicate a game day to a single campaign game. Yeah, it definitely can be, for sure. Which one, Blue-Eyed Demon? All the ones that we've played are up on YouTube. So Isofarian Guard has a whole playlist for it for the entire first campaign. The videos are long because we like to kind of play through to a stopping point. So they range from 3. I think we have one that's 7 hours long when we just like pushed it to the end of a chapter. But you can just put that on play and just go right from the start of the game through campaign 1. That one's phenomenal. That one is definitely a good mix of it's difficult in the way that a video game like RPG is difficult, to where early on at the beginning of each major new stage of the game, it's very hard as you have to learn to fight the new enemies. But if you put in a bit of grind, it's not too much, which is nice. It doesn't fall into the realm of Tainted Grail to where it's too much grinding. So you put in a little bit of like grind, do the side quests, and then make sure you upgrade your equipment, and you set up your guards the right way with like the cards and stuff that you have. Then it becomes easier. But then you get to the next stage and it gets harder again. But like the boss battles themselves are never just easy. You always have to strategize and think through. And then they use the Foreteller app, which you have the story in the book, but if you get the Foreteller app, like I said, they did the full 9 with voice actors and music and everything. It's incredible. Yeah, that's Isofarian Guard. It's a big box. It's a hefty box. It's like 50 pounds. Actually, they use chips, and they have everything in the one. They have Veil Ward that's getting ready to come out in the second printing of Isofarian Guard. So I don't know. You probably only get it through their late pledge if you do go that way. I don't know. They might have just copies you can buy on their store. But if you're going to get it at any point, I would definitely go through the second printing that they're doing, because they have some upgrades to like the boards and stuff to make it a little bit more manageable. And then, I mean, I'm stoked for the follow-up. But literally the first one's broken up into 5 individual campaign booklets. And each campaign booklet, you take on the role of 2 guards, so 2 main characters. And so it's a game that plays 1 to 2 players. So if you're looking for a larger game group campaign, this wouldn't be the one. But if you're looking for something for yourself to play, or if you have one other dedicated person who can join you, then it's definitely a good one to snag. And then the guards are asymmetric. They play entirely differently. Like the basics of how they play are the same, regarding how like their stonebound powers, like their magic, and then their guard abilities. But the guard ability cards vary, and the way that they fight vary. So, for instance, in the first campaign, there's Alec and Grigory. And Grigory is very much the warrior type of character, the brute, the person who goes in with sword and shield and attacks that way. Where Alec is more of that potions guy. Like, he's the alchemist. He's crafting potions that help him attack and everything. And so it was cool to see is at the beginning of Campaign 1, Grigory, my character, was much stronger than Alec. And Alec was more of the support character. But by the end of, I think, the second chapter, Steve was able to kind of make us more even. And then by the very end, Board was able to set up Alec to where he was dealing like 14 to 20 points of damage in one go if he got the right specific combo, lined up with his cards. It was pretty impressive. Okay. Well, everything is in all of its spots, officially. So now we'll see how it gets all tucked away. I believe this is on the bottom of the box, which already I love, because this is like all the major expansion stuff down here that gets put away. And you know what? I'm going to do this. I don't even care. I changed my mind. Those other cards that are back here, so like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put those in with the main deck. So you guys have watched me go into this thing multiple times to take these cards out and reorganize them. I apologize. When I go to the campaign, if I need to find the cards, I'll find them. But I like the organization that they have. So I took out the cards that would go on the bottom of like that whole campaign deck, and these I'm gonna just drop in here. since you can technically mix them all in anyway, you don't have to play the campaign. I'm doing that. If I need to go find these when we want to do the campaign, then we will do that. There we go. I feel better with that. Okay. All right. Let's get the stuff moved to the side so we can start putting it away. Yeah. I guess the tops on these, huh? Make sure stuff doesn't fall out. Oh, what's for what? Probably doesn't matter. Boop. Those off to the side. That would put the top on afterwards. He's going to the very bottom. You sure? Sure. That works for me. I don't know. All right. Big box time. Okay. So on the side, we have all the stuff again here. So it tells you how to put it back in the box. So starting off, we have this person right down here on the bottom. Little temple tiles right there. And now we will put you on the top. And I already put that in backwards. That's hilarious. Whoop. I need to go now, but good luck organizing. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the info. Yes, thank you, Vladimir. Appreciate you joining and sticking around for so long. Definitely come back. Follow us on Instagram if you have that to find out when Board will be back and what we're going to be playing. So thank you for coming by. And we'll talk to you next time. All right, so there we go. That's in, and it's in the right way. There we have. Boom. Then the cards are down right there. Okay. And we have all of our, I messed that up. So it looks like we're putting the reference stuff, all of it, some of it, all of it. Right there. All right, good deal. Next we have our player pieces there, and then all of the boards. Okay, let's see. So you're folded in half. You guys are all opened. Okay. So it's filling in this gap with the boards, so they're open. Boom. This long one is going in folded, just like that. There's another one that's going in there, which is over here. So this one here has the slots, is going in folded as well. And then our little dial board, which also opens up. I don't know if I showed you guys that. It's going in right there too. Perfect. Not too snug. Looks great. Okay. Now, where you at? There we go. This right there. Holding those all in place. And these right in front. Like the little groove for all the boards. I appreciate that. Tokens going down. Mobliss. It looks like all the boards and everything else. Okay. So, order of operation for the boards. Let's get all these. Oof. So, new big board, which at the beginning of the video we showed off the new big board. It looks awesome. So that is going right down on top right there. Very bottom. Looks like the next is the main board on top of that. And then these are going sideways on top of those. Then we have all the rule books and fun stuff. So we're putting the main one on top, the other big one. So we have all of these. Put them like this. Boom. Our score pad. Other campaign score pad. And then rule books right on top. And that is everything in, and it should be flush. And it is. Lost Ruins of Arnak's Adventure Chest. Flush. Love it. No lift. Hefty. But fantastic. Woo. My goodness. That was a lot. But it's fun. Like I said, I love doing this sort of reorganizing and putting things away in these boxes. I think it's so fun, despite it taking, hours sometimes at a time to do. It's just so satisfying to get everything organized in its spot, and then when you go to play, like having it, so you just take it out and go. I did the same thing with like The Witcher Old World. That one I had to get a custom insert for to put in there. But any game that I'm going to be keeping, if it doesn't have a phenomenal insert, like Super Monday has a phenomenal insert already included in its newest edition. If you guys haven't checked out Super Monday, definitely check that out. We have a gameplay and a review up on YouTube as well, if you're curious before you do. But they organized it in the perfect way to where everything you need for like the base game is right on top, and then all the expansion stuff is on the bottom and grouped together, similar to the Castles of Burgundy special edition, but it's even tighter than the Castles of Burgundy one. It's great. But yeah, so things like, we have Marvel Zombies up here, Tainted Grail as well, that a bunch of boxes. Like I got custom inserts for those, so that way we can keep everything together and condense them at the same time. I have one coming for Sea of Legends as well. Anything that's worth keeping gets that treatment, gets the sleeves on the cards. It's wonderful. So I was happy they came out with this adventure chest. Definitely to jump onto it. It's the perfect time for me to get the Lost Ruins of Arnak again. Stoked to jump back in with Board and to beat him at it again. Yeah, so fun. Oh man. So this coming Thursday, well, for you all watching on Twitch, this coming Thursday is going to be our last game of our Gen Con themed month. So we're playing Luthier, The Art of the Instrument by Patterson Games. So big, combo-y. I'm sure you guys know what it is. For anyone who's watching this on YouTube later on, you can either find it on YouTube now, or it'll be up soon. I assume this video is going to be going up probably afterwards, because Board is currently away at a wedding. But the next month that's coming, our theme is going to be pirates and westerns. So we're playing 2 pirate games, 2 western themed games. So 2 games that we know are on the list is Bantam West, which is more like an open world western. And then we are also going to be playing Sea of Legends, which I mentioned a minute ago as well. The other 2 games are up in the air at the moment. So we're still trying to figure out which those are going to be, which ones fit in. We do have Ostia, which has a pirate expansion, but it itself is not innately a pirate game. Yeah, I don't know, honestly, what the other ones would be. So we will have to figure that out. For our mini games, our tournament games, so for those of you who haven't been watching or this first time watching, we do a tournament game. We put those up on YouTube. So each month is a new tournament game that plays an hour or less. We play multiple times throughout the month, and then whoever wins the most essentially gets the month as a point on the scoreboard for them. At the end of the year, whoever has the most points wins. Last year, we did cribbage the entire year round, so we wanted to change it up and do a different game every single month for this. So we're thinking for the Pirates and Western, we're actually going to do 2 games. We're probably going to do Tiny Epic Pirates for 2 of the weeks and Tiny Epic Western for the other 2. 2 games that play fairly quickly once you know how to play. So stay tuned for that. Definitely check in. If you're not following us on Instagram, please go follow us at Ball to Board Games on Instagram so you can stay up to date with everything we're doing. When we figure out what the next campaign game is, if it's going to be Dragon Eclipse or Tidal Blades 2, we actually have a post up right now where you can go and comment and let us know what you would rather see, and that's the one that we'll end up playing. But thank you, Meeple Mike. Thank you, Blood Demon. Thank you, Dicey Vim, and everyone for joining us here today, or us, me, have it, as I went through and unboxed everything Lost Ruins of Arnak, and reboxed it all back into the adventure chest. So, this is Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald, and I'll see you in the Lost Ruins.